Now let's head into the About View page, where we can now use a router to switch between our 3 new components. We also need some structure and content in this page, along with the router links and router view. So let's remove the level 3 heading and place in a div with the class of About. This will be the wrapper for this component, and then we'll place in various sections. So the top section, if we go to the About, this is going to be placed in 2 areas. So if we go over to the About view, this is going to be placed in 2 sections. The top section will be kind of an introduction, about us page, where we'll have some text about the pizza, the history, we'll place in an image, and then below this we'll add a second section which will contain our router links to switch between our 3 new components. So the first section with the class of intro. And nested inside will have 2 things. First of all is a div, and second of all is the image. So the div is going to contain the text, and then we'll add the image just below, and then we'll add a new section down at the bottom, and this one will contain our links. So let's start with this first div by giving this a class of info text wrapper, underscores between each word, level 3 heading with the title of Quality Pizza for 30 years. Okay, let's check this out. There's our title, and then below our level 3 heading, place in a P element with the text of nothing but the best quality ingredients. With a friendly atmosphere. There we go. Place in a class, so we can add some CSS later of info text. Okay, next the image. First of all, a class again for the styling of info underscore image or img. For the source, jump into the assets folder where our images folder is contained, and this one is going to be the calzone.jpg. The alt text, calzone close-up image. There we go, and this is the top section now complete. Of course, we'll make it look a little bit better soon with some styling, but for now, let's jump down to our second section, which is going to be for our links. This needs a class of more info wrapper, a level 3 title, and this is going to say click on the links below for more info. Okay, then we can start to construct our links, place these in a HTML nav element, an unordered list. And each one of these links is going to be placed inside of the router link. Each one will have the class of link for our styling. We use the colon because we're going to make the to attribute dynamic by placing in an object. And this object is going to point to the name, which we're going to soon give to each one of these components. This first one will be the history link and the display text of our history. Okay, let's duplicate this 2 more times. The second one is going to be for the delivery link, the text of delivery. Number 3 is going to be the locations link and the text of locations. Good, this is everything we need now. We've got our 3 links sitting below all of our information at the top. Okay, let's check this out. Into the About page. The contents disappear. This may be just because we don't have a match for our names because we've not created these yet. Let's just jump into the console and we can check this. Yeah, we've got no match for our name, so let's go over to the router and do this now. So the router, index.js. We first need to import our 3 components, which is history, locations, and delivery. So at the top, import delivery. This time we're in the components folder, and the component is delivery.view. Duplicate this 2 more times. The next one is for history. And the last one is for locations. Okay, so as with all of our other routes, we need to add these 3 components into a path. But remember, the path for these ones is going to be nested inside of the about link. So what we want, and in fact, we can just remove the second about. We've got the component name. Yeah, that's about. So we can just remove the one which was placed in by default. So we have this about link, and what we want is the path to be about, and then / we want the locations, delivery, and also the history. So how do we go about this? Well, currently the / about link is only pointing to one single component, but we can also nest inside multiple components by adding the children property. For the children property, since we are linking to multiple components, this needs to be placed inside of an array. Each array contains an object which is structured exactly like each one of these routes. So we'll insert the path, the name, and also the component. So for the first one, to link to history, we're placing the path of history, the component name. This component name needs to match the exact one which we placed inside of our router links. So I've got history link, delivery link, and locations link. This one is for the history link. Then the history component. Okay, so separate these with a comma. Close this down. So separate these with a comma and place these onto their own separate line. Let's duplicate this, copy and paste this in 2 more times. The second one is for delivery. The delivery link and the delivery component. Next, locations. Okay, so let's give this a try. We need to jump into the About Us page, and then we can check out exactly how this will look. Currently, we are on / about. Let's try our links at the bottom. We've got history. We're now about / history. Delivery. This is added to the end. And also the same for locations. So one thing you may be thinking is we currently have / about, which we've placed inside of this path here. Then we also have / locations. But when we've set up the child routes, we've not added a / before each one of these paths. Well, if we did this, it will be treated as a root path. And let's take a look at exactly what we mean by this. If we add the / to each one of these, and then go into the about. Now, instead of having / about, if we click on one of our links, the full URL will be replaced with this history, delivery, or locations link. But since we want to add these onto the end of the about link, we can just use these without the /. Finally, to actually see the contents below from each one of these components, we need to go ahead and add a router view. So go to the About view, and then just below the navigation, we can place in the router view. Save this, and let's check this out. We've got the top section, and then the locations area at the bottom, the history, and also the delivery too.